Hello, Teacher Kelly here, coming to you today to talk about preparing for your demo. This is for anybody that's either in the hiring process for VIPKid or you're thinking about getting into the hiring process for VIPKid. So, first of all, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe. Also, any links that I talk about are going to be in the description below, so you can find my email address and you can find my website address. Click on those links to get more information. If you decide to use my link or my code to enter into the VIPKid process, I appreciate that. Thank you. I would love to help you through that process. Use that link so that I can give you those resources and I can prep you to make that the easiest process possible. But I need you to reach out to me and let me know that you have started that process. VIPKid does not give me your email address. I get your first name and the first initial of your last name, so I don't have any way of contacting you. You got to let me know that you're on that list, okay? Thank you for being here. So if you're in this process, you have now passed the basic info step. That means you've created that account, you've put in your basic info, you've got all the minimum requirements met, and VIPKid has said, okay, let's go to the next step. Next step is demo. I want to talk to you today about, 4 or 5 things for you just to think about as you're moving into that demo process. And I'm going to give you some details about what that demo process is going to look like. Much of this information is great general teaching English as a second language kind of information. So the specifics right now, today is May 14th of 2020. So I've tried to get the specifics right for exactly what is happening in the interview process. But if anything around here is constant, it is change. So VIPKid quite often changes up the information that they put out for the interviews, the slides that you teach, or the steps that they want you to take. It's kind of sort of the same, but it varies. So anything they're telling you, go with that. But I'm going to tell you what I know of as today, and then the general teaching information, that's going to transcend time, and you can use that no matter when you are listening to this video. Okay, so what do you need to do to be ready to teach the demo lessons? You always need to teach with a lot of energy. Think about it. You are engaging with a student, a young kid who is clear across the world, and you need to connect with them through this video screen. That takes energy. That takes excitement, okay? That takes getting involved with the lesson and getting involved with your student. Always demonstrate that you have that capability. The next thing you need to remember to do is to speak slowly, okay? I know you've heard somebody speaking in a language that you don't know, and it just sounds like one long stream of words, and you don't know where one word ends and another one begins. Okay, your student is going to feel that way, and you need to be sure that you speak at a speed that allows them to hear the individual words. The younger, the more beginner your student is, the more important that is. When you get up to some of the upper level students, those guys can converse and can hear those distinctions much easier, and you'll figure that out. But for the purposes of getting through the interview process, speak slowly, okay? You're teaching a level 2 student in the interview process. That means they are beginners and they need to hear each individual word spoken. You also need to remember to speak in simple language, no incidental language. You're only speaking the words that you are teaching. So you're going to say, this is a ball. Ball. This is a ball. All right, if you want your student to repeat that again, you don't use language to say, okay, good job, student. Can you please repeat that for me again? You just sounded like Charlie Brown's teachers. They have no idea what you said. All you're going to do is repeat that teaching process again. Do not instruct them to repeat that process, just do it. So no incidental language, all right? The next thing you want to think about is having a few props handy that you would want to have prepared for the topics that are going to come up. And I'm going to share with you some of those topics so you can kind of brainstorm. One thing I want to tell you is in this process, don't go and spend a whole bunch of money. Come up with stuff that you already have in your house. Got an apple in the kitchen? Go grab an apple. Apple is a word we teach often. I think soccer ball does come up as one of the things in the demo slides. But if you don't have a soccer ball or a little teeny tiny soccer ball like this, don't go buy one. Just come up with any ball, and let's worry about that after we get through that process. You can also teach, you're going to do this first for ball anyway. Ball, and then you have a printed picture of a ball, or cut out a picture from the ad that came in the mail that has a ball in it. Use that. Let's not invest until we're making money, okay? Another super handy thing, if you've got one laying around the house, is a whiteboard, because a whiteboard can be pretty much anything. If you don't have a ball, then suddenly you have a ball. And I probably can't draw a soccer ball. But maybe I can draw a basketball, right? I don't know, does that look like a basketball? Yeah, a little bit. But your kid gets the, your student's going to understand, and you're going to write the word ball, all right? So anything that you want, you can pretty much produce if you've got a whiteboard. Dollar Tree has these for $1. They are not magnetic, but they are $1. The ones at Walmart are only a couple of dollars. This one's a Walmart, and it is magnetic, which is helpful when you want to stick something up and let it stay there. I've got letters, got animals that I sometimes throw up here and hold on there. So if you've got a whiteboard somewhere around your house, make that work for your demo, okay? Next thing that you want to think about is your reward system. We use rewards to keep our students engaged in what is happening in the lesson. And so periodically throughout the lesson, we just kind of take a little brain break and we go to that reward system. I started out using candy in a jar. Look, you get a piece of candy. Yay! You have 3 candies. 1, 2, 3. Okay, your kid cannot eat the candy. They're in China, you're in America, but they love getting candy, and it works. I heard of another teacher who taught in their demo lesson, and they had bracelets, and they took the bracelets. I think I have a stack of bracelets in here that I did not pull out. Yep. So they had a bracelet on, they had 5 bracelets because we get 5 rewards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each time they gave a reward, look, you get a bracelet. And it went on the other arm. Bingo. So these are left to earn, and these are already earned. Keep it simple. Again, don't go buying stuff until you know this is going to work and that you're going to want to do it and that you have money to spend. You really don't have to go buy stuff ever, but I find myself picking things up at the Dollar Tree all the time. So that's another video. All right. Something else you need to be aware of is that we teach synthetic phonics. During the demo lesson, they're going to be listening to see if you are making the right sounds for the letters that you're teaching. So for instance, when we teach the word, the letter T, it is a T sound. It is not T, you know, B-A-T, B-A-T, B-A-T. No, it's B-A-T. But quite often you'll hear T says T, as in T. I don't know what, it doesn't say T. But that's what you hear. That's what we were taught. But we speak the language in America every day. We hear bat and we know it's bat, even if we heard T says T. All right. Another one is R. R says R, rat. R says R, roof. It doesn't say ra or whatever else sounds that we teach. So synthetic phonics. I've got a video. I can send you the link once you're in the referral process, and you can go through each letter and just hear those. It's super simple. It's not a big deal. But you just need to train your ear and train your mouth to always teach the right sounds so that the kids are getting the right sounds and not learning ba'ata. All right? Practice screen management. All right? If I'm showing my apple can't be way out here and they can't see it, right? You got to learn to work within this screen. This will come to you pretty naturally after a few lessons, but those first demo lessons, it's just you have to concentrate on staying in front of your camera and where is that a screen. You can also use the screen to go in and out to create emphasis. 5, 5, 5, and come back again. Anytime I'm speaking and I want them to see my mouth, my prop or my card or whatever I've got going on, my apple is going to be over here to the side of my face. But if I want them to focus on what I'm talking about, I can bring it close in. So use your screen as an advantage to help emphasize something, but also it doesn't help if I go way out here, apple, apple. No, okay? You got to learn where that apple has to go. So just sit in front of your screen and practice a little bit. All right, so then another thing that you are going to hear until you think you've heard it too much is something called TPR, total physical response, okay? We use total physical response in everything that we teach. The child is not going to have an apple prop in front of them. They are not going to have a ball every single time that ball is mentioned. A lot of kids might bring a ball to class with them. Most kids won't, but this is a ball. Ball. Oh, ball. You always want to introduce a vocabulary word the best you can using some sort of physical hand gesture, whatever. Hat. I put on my hat. Hat. Then we make a sentence. The next time I say hat, I might bring out my hat. I put on my hat. Okay? So always use that TPR that they can use and repeat without having a prop. That's first, the first time you introduce the word. The second time you introduce the word, you can produce that prop and allow them to see actually what you're talking about. It could be an apple. This can be an apple. This could be a ball, and this can be a ball, okay? So TPR, you're definitely going to want to use that. We also use something called instructional TPR. Instructional TPR is when you are indicating that you want your student to do something within the lesson. We have the ability for them to draw on the screen. Circle the apple, all right? So I might have actually drawn an apple. You're going to see my lovely art skills again. Here's my apple. 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 Circle the apple. Circle apple until your student circles the apple. All right, that is instructional TPR. This being a ball, educational TPR. All right, so we do circle, we do draw a line. I do this, draw a line, draw a line. And then there's things on the screen that they can move around and manipulate. So we drag and drop the apple, and there'll be an apple on the screen that they can move around. So, or a word. A lot of times they're moving a word to complete a sentence. That is using TPR. All right. You, again, always want to use TPR the first time you introduce a word, then you can introduce your on the second time you introduce a word. All right. And then I want you to be sure you have good lighting. All right. I have a lamp shining toward me over here. I've got some natural sunlight over here right now, but that is not there when I teach in the morning. So I have another lamp that can shine up me right here. Okay. Anytime you are in front of your camera, if you're getting shadows, you need to figure out what's going on. We need to get some more light. These are just lamps I had from around my house. I have not purchased anything. You can purchase a ring light If you're using a laptop, they've got these great little lights that clip right over your camera on the laptop. Shine that light straight at your face. Again, don't purchase until you're making money. Find a lamp, take the lampshade off, get that light coming right at you. Call me, we can talk about, or email me, and we can talk about specifics if you're having trouble getting rid of shadows. Last thing I want to mention for this is educational background. You need something behind you that indicates that you're in a little classroom environment, that you're not sitting in the middle of your kitchen with kids running around and all kinds of stuff going on. But again, let's keep it simple. Dollar Tree does have some super simple maps that you can throw up there. If you just need to put up, when I actually started my first class, and you can see this on my website, I had a piece of paper I printed Teacher Kelly, and I had A, B, C, and that was it. I have, if you look right here, I have ABC up there. I could easily use that again at some point. Those came from the Dollar Tree. Put your name up somewhere. I personally right now use digital technology to add my name, but if this wasn't here, I would have it posted on the wall behind me. Again, keep it simple because you're not there yet, and you need to figure out your classroom over some time. Don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff. Just find something you have around the house. Okay, so that is it for now. Have fun. This is a fun process. It is a little bit of a tedious process to get through. Keep this in mind. Right now, during this process, you are using all the techniques. You are going by the book to show that you know how to do these things to communicate with these kids. Once you are hired, once you are booked for classes, you can breathe, okay? You can introduce a prop before you introduce the TPR. If your kid, if you've taught them 3 times and you know that they know ball or whatever, you don't have to do it exactly that way. You can do your classroom the way that works best for you and your students, all right? But in the process of getting hired, you need to demonstrate that you understand the concepts and that you know how to produce those things when it's needed, okay? So just jump through the hoops and make it work so that you have the ability to get booked and get hired, or get hired and then get booked, right? And have a great success in the classroom with your student. All right, so learn all the steps, jump through the hoops. When you get in the classroom, you'll figure it out, and you'll learn when you can use it and when you should use it and when you need to just move on. All right, we can talk more about that later. All right, so that's it for the first steps of preparing for your demo. Tune in for part 2. See you later.